Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and for today's video we're going to go ahead and do something a little bit different. It's a bit of a community response. So you guys see the video that I have up here, the best units to improve the potential system. This is a video that I put up yesterday, and I kind of tried to go in depth with it, and then at the end of it I did annotate a video that I did previously whenever the system had came out to JP, and collaboratively those two videos should explain just about everything that you need to know as far as what to do and how to do it in the system and what your priority is. Now, I did want to kind of take the opportunity on this video to kind of do a community response because there were a lot of questions. A lot of people were unsure as far as what units they should do. So I cannot answer every question on the video. There's 380. Now, there's obviously going to be some community conversations inside of here, but regardless, I'm going to try to answer the ones I can. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So Michael asks, is it glitched? He said he can't use it. That's because it's not available. It was just a giant jerk, tease. They implemented it, but it's still locked away. Generally, you have to reach, I believe, rank 150. You have to make sure that you do that Epic Showdown event all the way through as well, and then it'll let you use the system, but it's locked for everybody. I've done all that, and I can't use it. So they've got to make it available. Shouldn't take much. It's just a flick of a switch for them on their end, I imagine. So anyways, thank you for your question. Daniel says, any tips for using the dupe system on Super Strike event characters? I really want to get LR Goku. I did not really touch on Super Strikes, because I tried to obviously make the video not too crazy long, because it could have been something that I got into. As I say this, I'm looking at a whole bunch of longer videos from me on the side there. It's funny, YouTube's recommending me my own videos. Regardless, it could have been something that really spurred out into a 30-minute video, and I try not to do that because most of the time my friend Talon has a propensity for that, and I try not to do that. But regardless, I try to leave it to where it's open for interpretation and what you feel that you need to do, because it's not a race, it's not a rush. It's something you have the ability to do over and over and over every week. So as far as the question goes, Super Strike characters, they don't get bigger buffs. You're not going to use them aside from your grind for LR Goku unless you're going to use them on a joke team. Like I just kind of uploaded a stun video. That was a joke team, right? Or unless you're going to use them for other things. Like Super Strikes are only good for the Goku event and the Frieza event for the most part. Unless you want to or unless they're the best cards you have. That's a totally different story. Like everybody's situation is a little different. And some of those Super Strike cards have really good leader skills. The Gotenks Awakenings for both of them, the skinny and the fat, the Master Gohan or Grandpa Gohan, and the who's the Kid Vegeta, they all have really good leader skills. They have those baby god leads, 3 key, and then the stat increases to the mono team. So that's really what it comes down to. As far as individual units, it depends on what you're running. If I recall correctly, really good units for the LR Goku event would be Chilled, Jackie Chun. There's a few other guys in there. It's been so long since I've run that event, forgive me. But just look at my video, and I've got a video on the best team to run, basically. It's basically Chilled, so Chilled isn't a part of it. But, take that and you can figure out who you want to buff. But honestly, I wouldn't prioritize those guys. LR Goku is something that you could do from now until the end of time. You got plenty of time to do it. I'd rather use your orbs on the better units in your box. Thank you for the question. My list would be both Super Saiyan 4s, Gogeta, Physical Cooler, all those units. You attack all units. You can do the World Terminator for Frieza and really any card that hits hard. So, I didn't really touch on the attack all units because the tournament's a little bit different. There are a couple of different ways that you can run the tournament, but let me go ahead and say that from my experience, in my opinion, the best tournament teams are the fastest ones. And the fastest ones are going to be the one-shotting teams. And the one-shotting teams are generally nuking teams. And you don't need any improvement in the system to do that. All you need is one of the AoEs, so the Broly, the Arale, the Xeno Trunks, those guys, the Majin Vegeta that hit, and all the enemies on the field, along with their respective nuke leader. So for Tech, it'd be Super Saiyan God Goku, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, For STR, it'd be Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and things like that, right? So for Xeno Trunks, it would be physical Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So that's all you really need. I honestly wouldn't recommend using them. There are people in the community that recommend using your stuff and improving through the dupe system. I don't see a point, right? You're running 20 times difficulty most of the time, unless you can't beat 20 times, which if you run a nuke team, you can. But if you don't have a nucleate, then sure. Like, I can totally understand it in that scenario, because that still doesn't change the mindset that the fastest teams are the best teams, because you get the most points, you spend the least amount of time, obviously, so it's a lot more sufficient for your time, because the tournament can be a grind fest. So that doesn't really change that. So whatever helps you. If you need to improve your units so they hit harder, then that's totally fine too. So, yeah, aside from that, yeah, all the best units in the game, of course, are your priority. What is better to level up, double attack or crit? It's actually a fun question, because I've been meaning to do a standalone video on this, but I just probably will never get around to it. So I'll answer it here. Now, all the other ones, aside from this and dodge, from doubles, critical hits, and dodges, all of them are free. You know, it doesn't really particularly matter. I'm going to throw dodge into the equation. Dodge has such a low chance of activating. I basically will never give it to anybody other than Vegito Blue, because he still counters. And I won't give it to Super Vegito, even though he kind of still counters too, because Super Vegito doesn't have that chance at an additional attack, so I'd rather just give it to his additional attack. So as far as crits and additionals, there are people that will say that additional attacks just don't happen as a super attack very often. From my experience, most of the time, at least 50-60% of the time, it will be a super attack. Now, it does get kind of annoying when it's just a normal attack, but every little bit of damage helps. Now, I prefer to give the additional attacks to units that stack on their super attack. So taking, for example, the Dragon Ball Super Trunks, right? The Tech one, the Tech Dragon Ball Super Trunks is on my Mono Tech team. When he super attacks, his attack stacks for 6 turns. Now, some units have a different stack. Kaioken Goku does the same thing. So those guys like that get those increases, those massive increases, I prefer to give those guys double chances, so that way they can roll off 2 attacks in 1 turn, and they can get really strong in a hurry. Now, there are units that are just flat out damaging units, like Rose, Merge Zamasu, Super Saiyan 4s. There are guys like that. And those guys, while it could be cool to get 2, like for example, it could be really cool to get 2 supers off with Goku, and that's 2 million damage, I would probably prioritize critical hits, because critical hits are different. They're probably the best ability as a whole, because they do allow you to basically bypass the enemy's type. So an AGL unit can basically hit a tech unit super effectively, and they allow you to bypass their defensive stat and all that other stuff. So critical hits are really clutch. They just have a lower chance of activating among the 3 non-free abilities. And I talk about that in the video that I'm talking about now, so you guys should check it out if you don't know what I'm talking about. But among those 3, additionals is the most likely to have happen at a lower level. Generally, you need to get these stats up to like a higher level. I believe they max out at level 20. You can get crit level 20, additional level 20. And from there, they start activating a lot more commonly. And additional attacks I give to Super Vegito. I prioritize that there because he does buff the allies' attack by 30%. So 2 attacks off, that gets really good. It just depends on the unit. So to answer your question, it depends on the unit. If they're a hard-hitting unit, they don't have a stack, sure, give them criticals. If they have a stack, even if they are a hard-hitting unit, I'd still probably give them a blend of criticals and doubles. But keep in mind that you will need duplicates for those units to get both of those. No matter who it is, they'll need duplicates. So any tips? I've already done that. What is better? Rose must hit ridiculous. He does. I have Physical Broly and STR Omega Shenron. I haven't awokened either, so I wonder who would be more worth it. You don't have to choose between either. You're talking about physical and STR Super Saiyan. Easy, I don't know. You can literally both buff them both one day after the other. It's physical comes, or STR comes and then physical comes. So you don't have to choose between the 2. Should I use a dupe system on my Goku Black? He's currently my hardest hitting card. Yes, go ahead and do it. Isn't Bardock like 5 times better than Kaioken Blue in terms of attack? Sure. Because he has a bigger passive increase, I suppose. Yeah. As a free-to-play player, what do you advise? Prioritize dupes for super attack or dupe system? Always dupe system, because the statistical increases benefits you more. I got 2 bye guys. Congratulations. I have max super attack. I'm on Dylan's. Gogeta and I pulled 2 dupes of him. That's when the Christmas banner came around. That's not bad. I mean, that's a good thing that you have a max super attack and you pulled 2 dupes on him. I'm going to give you guys a tip that I didn't give in the video. The best paths to go down are the top left and bottom right. Prioritize the bottom right and then the top left afterwards. That's how you get the biggest stat increases. So this guy right here is going to have And when time passes, an amazing Gogeta, as long as he didn't use the dupes or sell the dupes or whatever. So I take 4 dupes to unlock all the abilities. Yes, you need 4 dupes to unlock everything and get 100%. But you can still get 55% without any dupes, I believe. So do I have to purchase the reverse item every time I want to edit one card? Yes, if you want to reverse a unit, you will need to go buy that hourglass, which costs 30 incredible gems in the Bob Shop's treasury tab. I use the unlock item and unlock 20%, play the game for a week and come back to Frieza with more orbs. Do I have to repurchase the reverse item, or is Frieza now unlocked? Well, you're kind of asking me a couple different questions. I mean, if you reverse Frieza, that has no implications on how much you've unlocked as far as the potential system goes. It stays the same. The only reason you'd reverse a unit is to either use a duplicate and unlock a path for them, unless you wanted to really spend the time and awaken that second unit, that duplicate unit that you have. It's easier to just reverse the one that you currently have and then apply the duplicate and open up a path, or unless you wanted to raise a super attack of something and, it stays the same after that. So there's no real reason otherwise, but the percentages don't change unless you apply orbs to them while it's reversed. But when you revert it back to how it was, the awakened state, it will keep that increase. I did all the requirements. I'm level 96. I think for starters, I don't think you did all the requirements because you have to be a higher rank. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't matter. The game mode isn't available currently. I have Gogeta, Tech Bardock, AGL, Super Saiyan Gohan, Intelligence Turles, and Physical Goku. I want to use Systemon. Is that a good choice? Also have Tech Mazda Vegeta. Well, most of them are different types. So the same thing applies. You're gonna get the chance to buff up units from all different types every day, except for the weekends. So AGL on Monday, Tuesday will be Tech, Wednesday is Intelligence, Thursday will be STR, Friday will be Physical, and then the weekends don't do anything unless they run a special event and they have them on the weekends. So if those are the best units you have, go for it. No problem with that. Would crits be useless on Gogeta? People have asked that, but no. Even though Gogeta basically has that super effective mechanic, he doesn't bypass defense and things like that. So critical hit still winds up doing more damage on Gogeta, even though he kind of has a built-in critical hit. And I would still give him additional attacks too, because I give him both. I just like to give units a blend. Like my Gogeta has 17 crits and 6 or additionals or whatever it is, 9 additional. So you can do both. So that's good. Level 17. Quick question, would crit... Oh, I already read that. Maintenance ended. Yes, it's not available. So many people get mad and saying Bandai better give us stones for this. I'm not even going to go into that. People are just entitled. They don't have to give anything. They choose to. But really only G tiers. I don't know what you mean. Maxwell Swanson. Question, does the dupe system work with cards that aren't Dokkan Awakened, aka haven't been Dokkan Awakened? Yes, they cannot be in their SSR state. The cards that can use that are only UR and Transcended UR and LR. Yes, people have asked if you revert a UR or a LR back to TUR, they will keep that SA level increase when you bring them back to being LRs. They will not lose that level 10 increase to Super Tech 20 if you got them there. So yeah, is Physical Goku Black good to use on the dupe system? Yes, he's one of the best cards in the game. I talk about it in the video. All the best cards. Go ahead and go for it. Could you guys tell me which is the best option for me? AGL, Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, Goku for sure. But there again, you're splitting these off. They're different types. Tech GT and Tech Bardock. You don't have to differentiate. All these guys are AGLs. The second half is Techs. You can literally choose. For one, you don't have to do one unit at a time. I never did one unit at a time. I don't believe in having one really buff unit and the other ones just being average units. I like to have everything have abilities. So, that's what I did. That's the approach I took. You can buff everything at one time if you want to. They just won't get as strong as fast. But, of course, the better ones. So, AGL, Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken, Goku, and Tech Bardock. That's, the better ones. So does this mean if we're going to answer some more, just a few more in here. So does this mean if I had Janemba dupes and raise a level of the ability for less damage when guarding, that he takes even less damage against any type? That is actually a really good question. I've had the inverse asked against me, like with Gogeta, because Gogeta is super effective on every type. People have asked me if that other ability, equates to more damage on him. I'm going to go ahead and say no for both of these guys because Janemba blocks everything. That means that, everything has a negative implication on him, in which that ability that allows him to block better, technically, would or should apply. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I'm gonna think they're going to just, for those units, those 2 units specifically, because they're special, I think they're gonna go ahead and just apply the normal mechanics, like as far as the unit goes, aside from its passive. So no, I'm gonna say no. Unless Janemba's blocking a tech unit, that doesn't really apply. Nice piano, thank you. Thanks for the explanation. It's probably one of the better ones that I've seen. I appreciate it. What about the tech? Super Saiyan 3, Angel Goku. He stuns and hits hard. Does he stun? Oh, I'm thinking about the free one for whatever reason. Yeah, he's not on the list, but he would be in the A tier, I believe. That's just generally where those cards go. So if you're asking, should you do it? Yeah, go for it. These guys are talking about me. That's fine. What is better for Gogeta, crits or doubles? I've kind of talked about that. Crits would be the better thing for him, but I like to give him a blend. So what happens if I don't have duplicates? I kind of answered this one already. You can still improve your units, but you get locked out. So the bottom right path, while it's the best path, it does require super attack levels. That one is the best path for a reason. It requires you to have that unit at a higher super attack level. And as you get further on that path, it requires their super attack level to be higher. Like it starts off needing a super attack level 2, and it goes on from there. So if you don't have dupes, that's still the best path to go. But you can still get the free ability from the top left. I buffed up STR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He's great, especially Dokkan Awakened. He always super attacks because of his great links, and he has 420,000 best with Super Saiyan 4 leads. Yeah, he's pretty solid. I run him. Mine hits a significant amount harder, but that's probably the super attack difference. But yeah, he's really good. Does STR Beerus get big buffs like the Tech one? No, he does not. He does not, because he's not a old pre-Super Vegito Dokkan Festival. I'm going to farm 4 TUR Gokus. Good luck for that. We're going to go ahead and answer these last few here. What about physical blue Goku? He's a nuker. He gets a percentage-based increase per orb. I mean, if you wanted to do that, if he's the best physical unit you have, sure. Go ahead for it. Go for it. I lost my JP account a few days ago. Okay. I'm waiting for something like this. I'm going to go ahead and go down a little further. So the game back on at 4. That was when there was maintenance still. I was waiting. I hope the rates increase in global. No reason to. They're the same rates as JP. 10% is really reasonable for most of these games. What about Broly? I blew 5 of him on the Goku Black Matter. Is he worth using the dupe system on? Should I just use all the dupes for now on the potential system, or use them to raise super attack? Well, if you pulled 5, that means you have 4 dupes. I will go ahead and say that the bottom left path to unlock that dupe does that. To unlock that path, it does require a dupe, but that's the least impressive one. That one's for like defense and regeneration. The other 3 are way more important because they are a lot more versatile. They have offensive value and the stat increase value and things like that. The free ability in the top left. So at the least, you can use one of those Brolys for super attack. Oh, excuse me. I find it odd neither STR Beerus nor Super Saiyan 3 Goku are on the tiers like their counterparts. I answered this, but that's because they don't have that pre-Vegito Dokkan Festival status. D free to go, thank you. Can you do anything? My Super Gogeta is at Super Tag 10, like boosts or crits. Yes, I talked about that. But you will need a duplicate to be able to get both. He is going to naturally just get critical hits to level 5 for free. But to get that improved, you will need a duplicate of Gogeta. You will need another one. And to apply double attacks to him, you will need another Gogeta. Looks like this is coming to global today. Yeah, we thought so. Is Goku Black worth it in the dupe system? Yes. Would physical Broly be considered as one of those god leads who will get an S rank in the stat increase? No, he's A. Global's updating right now. I have a question about Gogeta and Janemba, how they work in the... See, that's what I mean. I kind of answered that one already. It's just kind of weird, but I don't know. If you guys can pull up the Reddit thing and see if somebody's pulled up anything on the Reddit as far as that goes and done some research, I just feel like it applies to the natural type of that unit. Could you do more info videos like this? Yeah, I try to. Your infos are great. Thank you. Well, that's pretty much it for this one. I don't really have much else to really comment on. This is something I haven't done in a while, so I'll try to keep these coming for you guys every now and then. Whenever there's a bigger video, I can kind of address a lot of questions in. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. No, I do not know when it's coming out for real, like when it becomes available. I assume in the next couple of days. But anyways, thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, Have an awesome day. Peace, guys.